They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shits. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Raj on the scopes. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes on the nation. LIB and our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out.
See, it's 99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibe. Don't bring that bullshit my way. Try your luck, go against the vibe. Where you fuck, you gon' think I'm Mike Grable the way I make them tighten up. You'll be lucky if you even score. You should read more, though I choose to live in peace. You should know I bleed war. I'm a recon man, one of the best in the sport. I keep a drone on my hip, I let it out to explore. They say the ops on the way. I see one, I know it's more. They just ran inside a building, my EMP gon' deploy. Make them panic, play support. Crypto going manic, they try to figure out how I do assault damage. Real just mark the surroundings, I know they can't stand it. Morosky sending out his ghost and they don't understand it. I'm headed to the high grounds to get an overstanding. Now you from a distance, see your partners, they done left you stranded. Damn, you know you headed to the lobby, right? Sorry for your awful fight, I admit it was easy. Get you some practice or you always die. I know you doing that ping thing, they gone, made it out of sniper range. Level 1 knockdown shield, it's been 7 minutes in the fucking game, I'm devoted. Hit you with the devotion, hear it wind up, quick motion. Now I'm headed with the wind to your partners, but I'm focused. See, GOAT just hit that beast on the hunt. Ghosts is ghosts, we reloaded, blow the EMP and we done.
They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shits. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Raj on the scopes. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes on the nation. LIB and our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out the mud.
Yo, Rashad, KT to the GOAT, lock kick, #1 shoe plug in the city. B Walker, what it do, player? Zay, what's good? All right, everybody tapped in on YouTube. Like, comment, follow the channel for the live daily pods that we drop. Picture in picture. If you watching on Facebook, hit that like, hit that share, follow, comment, tap into the daily content. If you on Twitch, Amazon Prime, once a month you can sub to your favorite content creator for free. If it's not me, make sure it doesn't go to waste, use it on somebody else. And if you're watching in the green, picture in picture, no ads, up to 50 emotes that you can use for free. Tap in, comment, engage with us. We live daily. But what a game. What a game, chat. What a game. Texas A&M, Texas, down to the wire. Marcel Reed came up short. It will be Alabama versus Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Winner of that game, if it's Alabama, will be in the SEC championship. They will punch a ticket to play Georgia. If Bama loses, it will be Georgia and Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin set to make his choice on if he's staying in Ole Miss or he's going to LSU. That shall happen Saturday. So very, very, very eventful rivalry weekend when it comes to the SEC. Tough for the Texas A&M Aggie and their faithful They had a chance to go undefeated in the SEC this year. They're going to be in the playoffs, but could have went to the SEC championship and had a magical season. Still can be a great season for them if they make a run in the playoffs, but no, they for sure disappointed getting to the last weekend and not being able to seal the deal versus their rival. A lot going on in their rivalry too. They don't allow the opposite team's mascot to come to the game. Texas A&M tried to block Texas out of the SEC. Just a nasty rivalry. Yeah, Michael B. I don't guess they wanted to play in the SEC championship. But we got to take care of business. Roll Tide tomorrow. Auburn, DJ Durkin coaching for his life. Auburn has put in a backup QB. He is mobile. That is the kryptonite to Alabama. I know Auburn.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Will be playing inspired football and Jordan Hare. So Bama got to definitely go take care of business, because the last thing we want is a meaningful game in the Iron Bowl where Auburn can ruin our season. Like right now, Auburn can knock us out of the SEC championship and the playoffs with one swing tomorrow. So Bama at 6:30 has to go handle business. Oh my goodness, chronic fan.
Let me
Bears
teach you how to vibe.
Hey, listen. I want to take this time. Y'all ran for like 300 yards.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
On the Eagles today. Really got the Eagles in disarray. A.J. Brown got back on the horse, but the Bears running game up front proved to be too much. And the mayor of Murfreesboro, Kevin Byard, Tennessee Titan legend, with another interception today. It's crazy to watch KB still ball. Wish he was still in Nashville. Another one of our legends let go too soon. And don't get me started on what we traded Kevin Byard for and what it has turned into. I'm pretty sure y'all seen my pieces on that. If y'all want me to go back down that road, I will. I don't want to. I tell you, the one thing about the Bears, the Patriots, is a couple teams that give me hope as a Titans fan, that those teams was looked at the same way we was looked at this year. They was looked at last year. People thought Caleb Williams was a bust. Everybody said that they should have took Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels made the run. They should have took Drake May. Should have did all these different things. And they went back to the well, got a coach, continued the draft from the trade back with the Panthers. And when you look at what all they got from that trade, drafting Luther Burden this year off of that trade, and also getting Colston Loveland, tight end. Like, they really stacked their team up, and they brought in an offensive coach, which the Tennessee Titans should not be scared to do because the last one failed. But one thing about Ben Johnson is they run the football. Kyle Monangai, a late round draft pick with Swift, and those twin tight ends between Kmet and Loveland, letting those young receivers get in and work more. Adunza and Luther Burden, like they definitely have a young core that they could build with. Those defensive backs came back and was playing blanket ball a good bit of the game, really frustrating the Eagles offense that struggled all year. So the Patriots and the Bears give us hope that teams that were in the same position that we were in last year, with the Patriots taking Drake May and Joe Milton that they traded to the Cowboys, didn't win any games last year. Fire a coach, hire a coach, get a good staff in, have a good draft and a good free agent signing period. And those two teams went from worst to first in their division in just 1 year. So it gives the Titans hope that if they hire the right coach, have a good draft and offseason, which they're set up to do, that they can flip it next year. I don't expect to do what y'all are doing, but anywhere half of that I'd be happy with. Yeah, Bob, for sure. Bear down. Y'all definitely doing y'all thing. But I mean, I
Let me
kind
teach you
of
how to
called it
vibe.
like preseason. I said like the Bears will be better. They'll contend in their division. I don't know if they'll win it. And look, the way they're playing this physical football, they're running the football and they're stopping the run and letting Caleb Williams play to his strong suit, which is, you know, letting him come off the boot, making throws on the run. That's kind of his skill set, you know. That's a coach playing to the skill set of his quarterback. So happy for the Bears fans, Patriots fans, teams that were at the bottom that made the flip with a solid coaching hire. And y'all know I stirred the pot with the John Gruden post today, and we get so many people commenting. I'll say this: when I make posts, I know I post pictures for a reason, just like I do thumbnails for a reason on YouTube and on my streams. People look at the pictures and don't read any of the context, don't read any of the caption. They don't capture what you're truly trying to say in plain English. And just because they see that picture of John Gruden with Cam Ward, they instantly assume that I'm saying the Titans should hire John Gruden because he got a media pack from them. And then they didn't read the caption where I said Bill Callahan and Brian Callahan
Let me teach
coached
you
on
how
the
to
Raiders
vibe.
against the Titans 0-2 AFC Championship. Everybody knows Gruden's history with the Raiders as well. Titans played Tampa Bay in the preseason. Gruden was there. Cam Ward was there, along with the Callahans. It's a lot of history between all the people on both sides. Of course, he's in the media. They sent him a pack. He opened it on Thanksgiving Day, throwing a bone, a good PR move for the Tennessee Titans, just showing that, you know, it still should be a destination for a coach or a player to go to the Tennessee Titans. I wasn't saying we're going to hire him. The amount of people that say that they absolutely wouldn't hire him, I understand some people reasoning why. All the comments, it's just funny to see because they're like, bro, I literally say in the post, I'm not saying that I think he's a candidate. Actually, I don't think he's a candidate, but I'm saying somebody showing some good PR after all the lies about Amy blocking the Patriots on the trade because she was mad about Mike Vrabel, which was complete false. And it was proven out to be that some notable reporters lied for clicks, that people eat it up. So it was some good press and good promo for the Tennessee Titans as they're on a coaching search. And you should shake every bush. You should flip over every table on this coaching search. And just because Brian Callahan didn't work, the young, hot offensive coach, don't mean they shouldn't go right back to the well and hire a young, hot offensive coach. Just don't let him bring a first-time coordinator at every major position, special teams, offense, and defense. Get some veteran guys in there with them. That's what they have to do. Any team can find the right coach. You just got to be patient and just be logical. Yeah, Kyle Manunga, Rutgers University. So Amazing likes to say the birthplace of college football. But that's funny that, you know, if y'all haven't got a chance to check out my YouTube, I always clip out like the best parts from the shop talks and put them up and then make the post on Facebook, the picture versions, and just let people kind of go in the comments. It's quite funny. I did have somebody like say something bad about my family in one of the comments. That's like to the Green Bay Packers post. But it's like, man, I don't even go back and forth with people like that. If you can't win a football debate or conversation, or you can't make any points, I'll simply just block you if you get to saying something about families and sexual innuendos and things like that. I'll just get you out of here. Because I don't mind somebody who disagree. Actually, people think that when people disagree, that somebody is upset or mad. No, Hendrix, people do not read anymore. They think people get mad. I actually like when people disagree because I like to see other people's perspectives, maybe I can learn something. You know, just like a guy today said he thought that my mock draft was horrible. And I was like, well, okay, well, tell me why you don't like my mock draft. And he's like, just going in. I say, okay, cool. I was like, now I could go back and forth, but I say, hey man, just come by the stream so we can rap. Cause I don't be wanting people to just get into their mode of being so defensive. I'm not here to argue with you in the comments. I'm here to have a football conversation, and iron sharpens iron. But I do know one thing, that if somebody thinks that Nick Harbor and Chris Brazil are going to be third round picks, I mean, day 3 picks, like they're going to be 6'5" and they're going to run 4.2 at the combine. I don't think they're going to fall that far. But I like to see people's different, viewpoints on sports, and because I think that's what sports is all about. It's conversation drivers of people having good conversations about sports. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows, nobody's right, nobody's wrong, all the time. Now, some people are completely oblivious when it comes to sports, and some are not. I don't think the Titans want John Gruden. I think if you go back and watch what he was doing, was like they were hanging out in camp when Tampa Bay played the Titans. And that's something that they probably could have sent him months ago when the season started, that he just now got around to opening up, because it kind of would have been disingenuous if he would have opened that pack cause here's the extra kicker. Brian Callahan and Bill Callahan got fired after the Titans lost to the Raiders. So in this short period of time, John Gruden comes and meets Cam Ward. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who Gruden won with, is doing preseason and doing camp with the Titans. So you got Bill Callahan, Brian Callahan, John Gruden, have a lot of people down there. The Jarvis Brownlee Jr. incident happens down there, right? Getting into it with the fan. And then in that short period of time, in that first month, Brian Callahan's on the hot seat and he gets fired after the Raiders game. It would have been bad for John Gruden to have posted that video when every single week they're talking about firing Callahan because they stripped him of play calling duties the 2 weeks before they fired him. So after the Raiders game, he gets fired. Anytime within the next month would have been a bad time for John Gruden to post that video, because it would have seemed like, man, did this guy tamper? Did he have something to do with, because then he definitely couldn't be a coaching candidate. I don't think he's a coaching candidate. I think if they wanted to hire him, Roger Goodell was just in Nashville talking about the Super Bowl in the new stadium. That's something that could be done behind closed doors, but I don't think that John Gruden is on the coaching search for the Titans. But I do respect if they did have a conversation with him, and even if they didn't hire him, have him as a consultant or somebody to talk to about football and the state of the culture, because he does have the football energy. He has nothing to prove. A lot of people think he has something to prove. He doesn't. He's got a Super Bowl ring and is in the media making money, so I don't think he necessarily has anything to prove other than his own ego maybe saying, do I still got it? But we all know how those things work more often than not. But I do like the good PR, and this does help the Tennessee Titans coaching search, that people are even talking about the Tennessee Titans and a successful coach in the same conversation after what we've been through. I don't think the Titans are like after Gruden bad though. He said Nick Harbor going to be a first round pick, early second at best. Who thinks he's going to fall to third? Man, people be in the comments just saying stuff, and like, I'll pull it up. But I told dude to come by the stream. I said I'll let him pick. For one, if I do a mock draft, people will say that guy's not going to be around that late for you to draft him. Well, it's the AI. Like, am I not going to draft him if he's on the board? And you flip around and that guy's not going to go that. Bro, we haven't even got anywhere near the combine. People are going to run 40 times. Like, think about Restrepo. We all thought that Restrepo would be a third or fourth or fifth round pick, but he got injured and had a bad 40 time. So what does that mean? that means that his draft stock fell. So guys like Chris Brazil and Nick Harbor at 6'5" are gonna run 4.2 40s, and you know, the guy even say like Damani Jackson, he's not gonna. I like, listen, bro. A 6'2" corner runs a 4.2 40 at the combine. He's going to get drafted because you draft off of potential. You don't draft off of is a person a good college football player or not. You draft off of potential. He said my mock draft was horrible. Okay, so we'll pull it up because I'm fair. He said Brazil isn't gonna go in the first round. Jennings Dunker is bad. Okay, Jennings Dunker is a 6'7" monstrous tackle. Okay. Lawson, he says, is gonna be a day 3 pick. Okay, Deontay Lawson. Teach you how to vibe. I think is an attack style linebacker that can play everywhere. I don't think he's a day 3 pick. He said Damani Jackson is bad. He's 6'2" and runs a 4.2 40. I don't think people understand like what the combine does when a person is. Nick Harbor still doesn't understand football and won't come out to be a day 3 pick. So he thinks Nick Harbor is gonna go down in the 6th round because according to Bryce Strong, that Nick Harbor is dumb, and just because he's 6'5" and the fastest receiver in college football, that he won't get drafted. Nobody would take a chance on him. And then he said you reached on almost all your premium picks, even though he didn't mention the first pick, which was trading back and getting Ruben Bain and having multiple first round picks in 2027. So trading back and having 2 first round picks in 27 and picking Ruben Bain, we're just gonna skip over that and just go into saying that if the Tennessee Titans came away from the draft with Ruben Bain, Chris Brazil, Nick Harbor, Nick Singleton, Joe Royer, like, bro, we Zaki, like, let's just skip over Zaki Wheatley. Like, all of these guys are oversized, over athletic, super speed players is what I drafted. And this is one of many mocks. We do a mock every day. This is probably like the 10th mock I've posted. To just see that people like don't even equate into that there's going to be a combine. There's going to be 6'5" receivers that run 4.2 40s. These guys are not going to go in the 6th round because the computer and the AI says so. I mean, Hendrix, like that just tells you that if you go find a person and click on a person's page, they're going to be a person that likes a certain team. And if you name anybody from a certain team or a certain conference, like, it'd be like a Michigan fan, and every Ohio State player that you pick, they'll say they're going to be a bust. So if I made a trade back and got Arvell Reese and Carnell Tate in the 1st round, they'd be like, Ohio State players are stupid. Said combine will go crazy. I mean, look at every year when you see big physical players that have crazy 40 times or so crazy athleticism. Like, we drafted Jackson Slater in the 5th because he was the 2nd strongest lineman in the draft. Even though he hasn't got into play yet, he's still the 2nd strongest lineman in the draft, and we took him in the 5th. And then you have to put into account of some of these guys are going to go to Senior Bowl and show out in Senior Bowl. Like, a lot of people like Nick Nash and Kobe Bryant last year, and those guys went undrafted to Atlanta. So just because a person is a good college football player doesn't mean that when the actual draft hits that these said players don't fall or go up. Fonz, what up? But see, this is the thing. Like, I don't like talk trash to people or dog them out. It's like, hey, I respect your opinion. I disagree.
Let me teach you how to
we can go over it, and you know, I'm a person that likes to deal with things like that. Because if I posted a mock draft that one of y'all thought was perfect, you wouldn't comment. You just scroll by it. If I post something on there that you disagree with, you comment. people that don't disagree, that don't like John Gruden will comment, cause I understand being a black person that if you black and you see John Gruden pop up and knowing his reasoning for getting let go and the Raiders might not be a reason that you might get stomach, but I tell you, hey, listen, man, I'd be scared to open up the emails and text messages of all the NFL and college football coaches. I don't think we'd have any coaches if there was, over a 10 or 20 year period that a coach ain't never said something racist or something with some horrible tones or something you probably wouldn't want to hear. Like I expect it. I played sports. I know exactly what we dealing with. And at the end of the day, it's just gonna boil down to, does this guy get the job done or not? I mean, Bill, like let's take all 32 NFL coaches and all 120 college football coaches and open up their emails and text messages from the last 20 years. But we're probably gonna see some stuff that's gonna spook us. I mean, to be fair, it's like the lesser of two evils. It's like what Keith Thomas said. We could bring up Sandusky. I mean, it's probably gonna be some more Sandusky shit in there, or Bobby Petrino falling off the back of a motorcycle, like Rick Pitino popping it off in the bathroom at the Italian restaurant. Urban Meyer finger popping in the club when you're 0-5, lying to the team and your wife and not coming home and getting caught in the club finger popping. Like, it's a lot of stuff that go on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, every single coach, you know what I'm saying? Like, we said Mike Tomlin included. I mean, bro, like, this is football, bro. This is not, it's a gladiator sport. People probably say crazy stuff. Like, even everybody on the field can't be mic'd up, the crazy stuff that gets said. So, hey, listen, man, I'm one of them people that I don't like cancel culture. Hey, listen, I just rather know it's out in the open. Because I guarantee Gruden probably on like the lighter side of people that say racist shit behind closed doors. We think about the Clippers and Donald Sterling. Like, I mean, the man was talking crazy about Magic, you know what I'm saying, over a chick. So it's like, you just got to put it in perspective, dog. Like, it is what it is when it comes to that. Hey, look, go to y'all jobs and subpoena the text messages and emails from the CEOs and the managers and upper management of y'all company and see what happened. That happened at a job I worked at, Colonial Bank. The feds came in, and you'd be surprised at all the stuff that turned up. Secret babies and secret relationships, secret marriages, and all kind of stuff came out. But that's enough for that topic. We've got in a little bit on the college football landscape of the SEC. Tyler Sage, what up? So let's get into Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday. The Colts, have y'all seen Daniel Jones' leg? I seen him practicing. They should just put him on IR. The man is not going to be able to make it through the season. He looks like he can't put any pressure on that leg. The Colts play the Texans. Horrible situation because they play the Texans and then they come right back to the Jags. The Jags could beat the Titans, beat the Texans, and beat the Titans again and like win the division. And like the Colts could have went from like in a great situation to a horrible situation, and Daniel Jones will be injured coming up on a contract of, do they pay him? He said they got to feed JT, but you playing the Texans. So it's like, it'd be different if you saying feed JT versus the Titans, but you saying versus the Texans, and like that's gonna be a tough. That's tough. Azeez Al-Shire gonna be out there like head hunting Daniel Jones's bad leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then this is a trap game for the Jaguars when it comes to the Titans, because Jaguars could be the best team in the NFL and lose to the Titans. Titans could be the best team in the NFL and lose to the Jags. Like, that's just one of them ugly rivalries. Like, Jags was the best team in the league. We beat them 3 times and went to the Super Bowl. Like, it's just one of those games. It said Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. going crazy. Yeah. and you know, them dudes are monsters. But let's get into the injury report for the Tennessee Titans. On the offensive side, Lloyd Cushenberry out. Chig questionable. Gunnar Helm moved to tight end 1 from the depth chart that I looked at on ESPN. They haven't made a decision about Restrepo yet, but A.O. Monner is back. Van Jefferson is slotted to be here. Chim DK in the slot as usual with Mason Kinsey and Prochet, because if they cut Mason Kinsey, they can get him back on the practice squad, but like they're out of, like I believe with Kinsey and Prochet, like they kind of have to leave them on the 53 or cut them. They can't they can't do the game day elevations and things with them at this point. I'd like to see Khalil Mullins get a little burn down these last 6 weeks, but this is how the O-line will look. Dan Moore is questionable. If he can't go, Oli Udo will step in. That means J.C. Latham will have to probably play on the island, and they'll probably have to help this side. And if Dan Moore does still have injury issues or he's banged up, they'll still have to help that side playing the Jags. Pete, Corey Levin, and Zietler. And we're going to have a question about Corey Levin right now before we get to the defense. This is my question to y'all. And we had a disagreement about it earlier. It's pretty spicy. But if Lloyd Cushenberry is one of Rand Carthon's guys, a center that was paid almost $60 million, that has torn an Achilles, came back, been a leader for us up front, but still working himself back into the shape to his former form. You know it's not going to happen overnight, but at the end of the day, this line is not good. So I don't know what people's attachment to Lloyd Cushenberry is. If Mike McCoy said that the offense doesn't miss a beat with Corey Levin in at center, who has played a lot of spell center for the Tennessee Titans over the years. Aaron Brewer has been playing good since he's been on the Dolphins. And I'd ask the question, Lloyd Cushenberry has not been active more than he's been inactive as far as healthy versus injured. I don't think he has played better than Aaron Brewer and Corey Levin at center in the last several years since he's been here versus what they were when they were here and versus what we're going to see Sunday. So I would say Cush has a foot injury. If we wanted to see Jackson Slater play, but they say he's not ready to play center, put him at guard, what you drafted him at. Put Corey Levin in at center. And if there's no drop off, because we're the worst rushing team in the NFL and our quarterback is at the top of the league in sacks, it's not like he's playing at some level to where there would be a detriment if he's not at center. I don't see what the attachment is, because he's one of Rand's guys. He's a highly paid guy that has been mid at best when he's on the field. So I don't see what people's attachment to hanging on the Cush for. I'm all for moving forward with this line and with the players on this roster of this in this rebuild. So what's y'all thoughts on that? I don't see any improvement at the center position from when Cush came, from when Aaron Brewer was there, that's now at the Dolphins, and when Corey Levin is playing. I don't see any difference for a center that you paid $60 million for. I'd like to know. So I don't know what people's attachment to it, because if this is any other position, if it's cornerback, if it's wide receiver, hey, if Ridley plays less than he's healthy, or if Snead is injured more than he's healthy, at any of these positions that we talking, we're trying to get off him and get rid of him. I know financially it doesn't make sense, but as far as pushing the team forward, like at some point, moves have to be made, because if he's got an injured foot to where he's out and you got 6 weeks left to go, let me see how the offensive line look with Corey Levin or Jackson Slater in. Like, it's time to start seeing what we got in some of these other guys, and maybe Might be a tough call in this offseason, but you may be looking at that same situation at one of those tackle positions. I'm more willing to say I would wait. If this was Peter Skoronski, I would wait on him. If this is JC Latham coming off of an injury, a hip injury that cost him a month of football, and he's just now kind of getting back into form and trying to regain his confidence, I'm much more patient with JC Latham being his second year and missing a lot of time this year, who's been healthy pretty much all of last year, his rookie campaign. I'd rather be patient with Latham than have too much patience with Lloyd Cushenberry. But that's just my question to y'all, because I looked at that and I thought, like, why does Titan fans have like a strong attachment to Lloyd Cushenberry, but you be dying to get rid of Calvin Ridley or L'Jarius Sneed if they're injured more than they're healthy? So like, why wouldn't it be the same for our offensive line that's underperformed? So when I look at Zietler for $9 million and Lloyd Cushenberry's $60 million contract and Dan Moore's $82 million contract, I would be less patient with those veterans that's supposed to come in and help some young first round draft picks, as opposed to having less patience for Skoronski and JC Latham, wanting to just do whatever with them. I'm more patient with the draft picks than the young guys than I am the guys that are supposed to be veterans. And Cush is a good person, a good leader, a good guy in the locker room, and maybe you might want to lean on that. But if next year is his last year and Corey Levin comes in these next few weeks and plays well at center, like, Titans have to not look away from some answers that may be being answered for them, the same way as you get rid of Jarvis Brownlee, you get rid of Roger McCreary, you move Marcus Harris from outside to inside, and boom, you got a starting nickel slot that is probably going to be a better nickel corner than both of the two people that was in front of him. So
Let me teach you how to vibe.
with that being said, I don't understand the attachment with Cush like that. Go, what up, D Brown? What up, Juan? All right, so let's go into the defense for the Jag game. Kevin Winston Jr., third round pick, will be starting again opposite Monty. Jared Reed and Mike Brown should be the two backup safeties. Kendall Brooks still has concussion protocol. It's still questionable on Xavier Woods. Which if Jared Reed, Mike Brown, and Kendall Brooks plays well down the stretch, you gotta wonder, are they gonna bring Xavier Woods back next year? He's on a $4 million guaranteed next year. He's got one more year. Like, do you move Xavier Woods if you can get any kind of capital back? If you like Jared Reed, who we got from the Seahawks, Mike Brown and Kendall Brooks have already been here with us, and they're spelled behind two really good safeties. Arden Key has a sack in every game back since off an injury. Cedric Gray still at the top of the league in tackles. Cody Barton leads the team in interceptions, and this will be Jahad Ward. I think it'll be very important. I told y'all last week that they would try to run at Jahad Ward and Arden Key, to try to run away from T Sweat and Jeff. And K9 and Charbonnet ran away from these two guys, and they killed us on the edge. Over 100 yards rushing as a team. I think 6-7 yards a carry, running to the outside. So this week we definitely have to stop ETN and Basil Tootin to force Trevor Lawrence into some third and longs to make him make some bad mistakes, because Trevor Lawrence will turn the ball over. So Tennessee Titans, Jahad Ward, Arden Key have to set the edge in the run game. It'll be great when we get Femi back in the offseason, because he sets a hard edge, and then we know we're going to be drafting somebody. But that's how it'll look Sunday. Terrell Baker Jr. will be cornerback 1. And Crystal Ball's in the chat. I told y'all, I know a lot of people have a lot to say, but Khair Elam, recently of the Dallas Cowboys, will start at the corner 2 position. Jalen Armour Davis will be out. Womack was released and cut, and Marcus Harris will play the slot. So I think this will be a situation. Maybe we'll get to see some of Micah Robinson in rotation. I want to see Micah Robinson in rotation. We have to watch tomorrow for the final 53 once it locks, to see if they'll add another corner off a practice squad or continue to do what they've been doing, which is take safeties and move them down into nickel positions and push the cornerbacks out wide in zone when they need to spell. But Shy Tuttle will be out, so it'll be Big Jeff, T Sweat, CJ Ravenel behind Jeff, James Lynch, and Sebastian Joseph Day in rotation. And the Seahawks spread us out, pause. So Devondre Sweat would come off on some third downs, and you go to a 3-down lineman look. And I expect that the Jaguars will run heavier formations with Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter being out. So I expect to see T Sweat and Big Jeff getting to play off each other a little bit more, with Jahar Ward and Arden Key on the edge, with Sebastian Joseph Day, James Lynch, and CJ Ravenel in rotation. But that cornerback spot gonna be one to look at, because Kair Elam has a chance to make himself some money. I already told y'all I thought he's the most talented cornerback in our group. And the sad part is, of all our cornerbacks currently signed, he's the only one that has a career interception. So that says a lot. I don't know what it's saying, but it's saying a lot to just say that. I want to see him get a chance to play himself into a position and play himself into an extension with the Titans, because I think that's one of the only ways that we could get like first round graded talent in free agency. Y'all know I have little faith that any of the big name free agents are gonna take bite the bait and come to Nashville for a team that's probably gonna have first overall pick back-to-back years. But nonetheless, you know, a game where the Titans can't compete if they don't shoot themselves in the foot. But they got to run the battle in the trenches. T Sweat and Big Jeff got a game wreck up front, and Arden Key and Jahar Ward got to set hard edges in the run game and force Trevor Lawrence to make some third and long passes. They said Brian Thomas Jr. is backing up. I was asking today, and everybody was saying that they thought that he still was hurt, but it'd be interesting to see him back out there. So I like to see what Elam got. Baker Jr. has been serviceable, probably the best of all our practice squad DBs. But I want to see what Micah Robinson got from the Packers. I like to see him get into some rotations. But that's how we're going to look Sunday. It's going to look thin. Offense is going to look a little different. But those is my question marks for the fan base. Is what is the infatuation with Lloyd Cushenberry if Corey Levin and Jackson Slater gives you the same production that you're getting out of a $60 million center? And I know his contract is one that's kind of locked in, but Tennessee Titans got to put the best players on the board and try to grow this 53. Also, we'll be interested to see if Restrepo gets pushed back up today, because if Restrepo gets pushed up, that means that probably Mason Kinsey will be cut and added back to the practice squad next week. I don't see them getting rid of Prochet. Prochet made more plays than most this past Sunday versus the Seahawks. Yes, football is getting good, college and pro. D, what's the vibes? Man, post-holiday vibes that's in here in the shop, going over the Iron Bowl being for the SEC championship, and Tennessee Titans play the Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday, and what needs to go down. Kicks Wheel, what up? But that's interesting though. I did want to see what y'all thought about that Corey Levin starting, Cushenberry out. And it'd be interesting to see. Titans are going to be in a real tight if Chig doesn't play Sunday. That would leave you down to Gunnar Helm and David Martin Robinson, which the Titans have been a little bit more effective with two tight ends on the field. If Chig can't go, then that puts you back into a lot of three receiver stacks, which would be okay this week because you get AO back. So AO Monner, Van Jefferson, Jim DK, and then whether they want to go